Check me out, YouTube. Y'all appreciate y'all tapping in, man. Let's get to work. So I want to ask you a question. What does the future look like?
Hey.
Can't did it, ho.
This morning I brushed my teeth, I grabbed my Glock off the hotel stand. Shot my mama a text, thanks for making me a man. I stopped by Dillard's, grab a pack of polo t-shirts. They was slim fit, I got a slim bitch, but that ain't
We thought it was going to be, flying cars and a whole lot of rocket ships. Now you a little older, a little more realistic. You see how the world is kind of changing around you. What does the world look like? Just sit down and think about the past 10, 20 years and how much things have changed. From VHSs to DVDs to Blu-rays to streaming. How much computers have changed, big, blocky, slow computers to everybody got one in their pocket. Things are changing and the world is developing at a pace faster than ever before in history. Being young, time is on your side, but it is not your friend. It pays to be a visionary. It pays to think differently than everyone else. Think about the first people to invest in Bitcoin. Think about the first people to invest in Apple and Google and Tesla. Think about those people who took that chance. They sat down, they studied, they researched. And after all that research, all that education, all that planning, they said, I don't care. This is going to dominate. This is going to change the way we do things. And now 10, 20 years later, those people are very well off. Pays to be first. Not to say it's not risky. It is a risk. Things can collapse just as they grow. But it pays to take that chance, to take that risk on yourself. A calculated risk. Putting the time in, right? Again, looking at where things have been, where they are now, where they're going, what the top companies are investing in, what the biggest issues and problems of society are, what people enjoy, what people like. That's a calculated risk. That's investing. So I want to ask you, what's next? What's the next big thing? When I think about the future, I think about artificial intelligence, machine learning, right? Your phone's knowing more about you than you probably know about yourself. I think about clean energy and having to get away from oil and all those carbon emissions, right? I think about electric vehicles on top of that. I think about the metaverse, about virtual reality, mixed reality, cryptocurrencies, the ones with the actual use case that change and improve the way we conduct business, right? The way we live our lives. I think about cybersecurity with this more and more, natural dependence on the internet, right? As a way to make things easier on us, we got to keep our information and our assets secure, right? Businesses have to protect themselves. I think about robotics and drones, nanotechnology and 3D printing. I think about the legalization of weed, the legalization of gambling. This is how I envision the future. This is what I think it'll look like, right? This is what I think is evolving right now. But this comes with a fair warning. We don't know the future. And this is what I mean when I say that. The cell phone, right? When it first came out when we was kids, everybody had the Razor. The Razor was hot. Everybody had it. Then what happened? Then what was it? The Sidekick? Trends kind of changed, and now everybody got an iPhone. You have to be very careful with how you invest in the future. Google always wasn't the top dog. It used to be AOL. It used to be Yahoo, right? And then over time, things changed. So what about those people who were just dead set on the internet? They knew it was going to be huge, but they invested in AOL, which doesn't exist anymore. So we have to be careful. So it might pay to diversify, we're not putting our eggs in one basket, right? For example, electric vehicles. Tesla is the top dog right now. I can't say for certain that I know 20, 30 years from now it'll still be the top dog. But what I do know is that those electric vehicles need batteries to run on. So maybe I should bet on those components or those minerals or those, metals that go into that battery. Because it don't matter what car company is the winner, they still got to make that battery. It might pay not to just invest in one single company, but to invest in the space as a whole, what we call the supply chain. You need to be smart, do said research, diversify, right? Buy that index fund, buy that ETF of whatever space that you're thinking is gonna, maybe take over the next 10, 20 years. But it pays to be first and it pays to take that chance. So I wanna ask you, what does the future look like?